Hello to all of our beautiful listeners. My name is Wilson, and today I'm joined back by the everlasting. Are you everlasting?
I sure
No,
hope so.
I sure. I sure hope so.
But if I'm not everlasting, then you can call me Potato Billy.
Hey, very. That's very happy. I'm very happy to have you here, Billy. So, Billy, do you know that today uh is a very special day here? And do you
Oh,
know what it
special.
is?
No, I don't know.
Do,
You tell me.
do you know some things about bunnies and eggs?
Bunnies don't lay egg.
Actually, you're
They
right.
don't lay
I just realized
egg.
that they don't lay eggs. Wow.
Yeah, they don't. So
Why?
I don't know what kind of connections.
Well, because well, in case you guys didn't know that today is Easter, okay, as the time that we
Oh,
upload this video, yeah, and actually since you brought that up, like yeah, actually I just realized that eggs are not eggs do not come from bunnies, as in because bunnies are technically mammals, are they?
yeah, but then if
Yeah.
you want to go into that argument, platypus is a mammal, yet they lay egg.
All right. Well, I'm not a scientist myself, so I'll leave that up to you guys who actually studied biology for your major, or probably are actual biologists in as your profession. Then you can correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm very sure bunnies don't lay eggs anyway. So today we actually have just very recently just finished watching a very interesting film. A film that I
Interesting
actually
film.
I did not expect to be recommended from a very good YouTube channel that actually I would definitely will leave it down in the description below once I upload this video. I think they go by the name. Let me look it up. Priest React to Uprun. Okay, the channel name is Uprun Friar Review. So there's like these pair of priests. They make a bunch of videos on YouTube, and basically they're just reacting to like a bunch of TikTok videos. That's sometimes mocking Christianity, sometimes is also having fun as well. But they actually are one of the few people that I didn't expect to recommend about to their fans to watch Calvary, a very very good um black comedy that even okay, whether you're a Christian or you're non-Christian, I don't think it matters because you definitely will enjoy in some ways if you can take black comedy as a part of your Sunday night entertainment. Especially after going to church.
Wow, wow, wow.
But hey, I'm saying that because it is like a legitimate good film, and I really do think that I really wish this movie got like some sort of Oscar, like at least some sort of Oscar nomination or something, because holy
They won a
cow.
lot of awards though.
Yeah, there were
But
a lot of
it's
there
more
were.
of Irish and British award.
Yes, but just still really good. It's still really good, but I I just it's just very it's a little sad, honestly, because I think especially in America, I think they I'm pretty sure they have the capability to make more movies like this. I'm very sure of that. It's just that it's just the overabundance of these very low tier and very kind of quote unquote safe yeah, like Christian media that's basically about like a guy who's having to battle his faith, and then at the end he's able to redeem himself, or at least or like there's another kind of film that he actually saved, quote unquote save somebody. um I'm referring to You God's Not Dead. So you terrible fucking film anyway. um Also borderline insulting for both ends. But yeah, actually, like I really admire this film, especially like when they're not really pulling any punches, as in like yeah, they're not pulling back and like a lot of things because they actually tackle a lot of issues. First thing and foremost is the director himself, right? What's his name again? John McDonald.
Yeah.
John John. God, I'm so sorry. John Michael McDonough. I hope I pronounced the last name correctly. But yeah, he basically like emphasized it really clearly in this film that it's like the the Catholic community. They have a lot of allegations going on with kids being quote unquote made love to, right? Which is definitely a no-no. And but then again, right, it is still in the minority. But the thing is, like, it does happen, and the film make it really really clear, and it actually becomes kind of a part of the plot itself, that it's like because the
Yeah,
thing is,
even
like,
though we've never seen it, right? It's just that it's something that happened in the background that people
correct.
take seriously.
Correct. So because the thing is that the main our main protagonist here is Father James. Father James. He's actually I would say he's a really really good priest. It's just that I think he's just he's just stuck in this island with a bunch of wackos.
Yeah, it's actually very cynical if you think about it, right? But he still tried his best anyway.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that I can just imagine like being this guy. Like, I'm just like, yeah. I mean, I think okay. One thing is it's an accomplishment that you're able to become a priest in this island. There's another accomplishment that you're able to maintain to be a priest in this island for.
For many years.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's been there for many years. Because even even in this film, right? Even at the very end, he is really thinking to go to Dublin, right? But then he decided not to go there.
Yeah, because
By the
he
last
wanted to
second.
save this one guy, right?
Exactly.
Anyhow.
Yeah. Which actually points a good light on this kind of particular priest, because okay, in case you guys didn't know, I'll just open up. So I came from a Christian background. So the thing is that what we were basically what we were educated is that the we it's not to say that we want to save people, and bring them to Christ. It's more of the fact that we just want to give people hope.
And
Or
yeah. Anyway, let's not talk about the spoil. What happened at the end?
oh yeah,
Right?
no.
Let's just talk about the movie first. Let's build the expectations first.
Sure.
But yeah, holy crap! But yeah, you're right. So the job of a priest is to give people hope and then help people in any way they can, right?
Yep.
Not just about like, hey, like you should believe in Jesus Christ or something, or like and atone for your sins.
Yeah,
Not very.
surprisingly, this particular priest he's like not the preachy kind of. Yeah, he's not like the kind who will like shove all these things like that down your throat, like for like all the way, like especially the first time you meet him, and it's like, oh yeah, you need to know all this stuff, get that into your head. Like, come on, man, that's very ineffective. But yeah, sorry, I was cutting you, but yeah.
Yeah, but then because remember, right? There's this one guy who
Yeah.
you keep laughing at, the
Yeah.
guy who seems to be an incel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he came up to the priest that I'm thinking about killing myself. Oh, either that or joining the army. The drastic choice. Why? Is it because not having the lack of sex? And then you know what the priest said?
Yeah.
Have you
What?
tried porn? Yeah, he did. The priest actually recommended him to watch porn, right? And then holy crap, like the conversation is so bizarre. And then he said like, yeah, and the insult guy like, yeah, I've tried everything, almost tried all, nearly exhaust all the options. And right now on trans porn, like, what the fuck?
it's like for
Dicks
some,
for dicks.
it's like for some reason, this guy reminds me of I can't imagine Patrick from SpongeBob SquarePants if he just like grows up. Somehow he grows up, and he lives in Ireland for some time, and it's just like what happens to him.
No, it's not Patrick. It's SpongeBob himself. It's because of the. Well, I mean, no, SpongeBob is wearing a tie. This guy
Yeah,
is wearing a bow tie. Close enough.
is
But
that
it's so weird. And then
is that a reference?
I don't know, man. And then like
I mean,
like,
it's a bow tie with polka dots. You see, SpongeBob has
yeah,
holes.
yeah, he didn't specifically mention it's a polka dot. Oh man. Man, I really love this film. Like the dialogue is so tight.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's really fun watching all of these people bantering at each other.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the reaction that people give is probably because the reaction is something that how you might feel towards something.
Mm.
But you know, like how sometimes you watch film and then you see characters reacting to each other and then they have their own reaction, and so sometimes you get sucked into it and like, oh, okay, I guess it's fine to still feel hopeful and all and disturbed, or maybe it's super dramatic. But sometimes if you just take a step back and look from behind, sorry, and just remember where you are. Sometimes you have to ask yourself, what the fuck? Why the fuck does that guy say that thing? No point whatsoever. I love that. It's keep poking at that idea.
I'll tell you, my two favorite scenes. So the priest with the butcher in the butcher shop right before the ending, and then and then the priest actually shooting the 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 bartenders is
Oh no, yeah. In the bar, not the butcher shop, but yeah.
yeah, no. I said two things. So like that's one. The other one is that like the priest like literally pulls up a gun and shoots all the wine glass. Oh, yeah, all the liquors.
And then he happened to shoot both of them, right?
Yeah, with empty,
empty.
yeah, empty chambers. And then afterwards, the bartender picks up a bat.
And then coming from under the frame, he wasn't even standing behind a table, right?
Yeah,
He was standing in the opening.
It's like, am I watching a cartoon? Like, why is it there?
And then and then I noticed afterward, right? You think that the priest got beaten up because he have an empty gun, and
Yeah.
here you see some bruises, but then you realize that a lot of the injury he sustained is actually on his knuckle.
Yeah.
So he put up a good fight, and then you get to see the bartender later, right? Filled with bruises on his face. Oh man, you get to see that.
Oh man.
Man, this movie is weird. And then like there's the priest is also once they talking this guy down. There's a really old man that keeps talking about killing himself because he's too old, right? And then the priest said, and then the guy asked for a lot of things like magazine and then like a gun. The priest said,
Oh yeah.
"I have a gun."
Yeah.
But I don't have
What
one
is it?
here.
What is it called again? A water PK, right?
Yeah, it's a World War II gun, by the way.
Yeah.
It's
It's the famous gun that was used in like the 007 like movies. I'm not sure which one is it.
And as the guy mentioned it, right? That's what Hitler used to kill himself. Oh, it's so weird.
I mean, allegedly. Allegedly. They're still finding his body, bro. Come on. Anyway, oh yeah, don't forget about that rich brat who pisses on his own painting.
Yeah,
And-
just to show his what the
And my favorite is what that yeah he wrote a check. Is it a check? He wrote a check.
basically he what happened, right, is that the church got burned down.
Yeah.
Now we don't know who did that, right? And
Yes.
then this guy just tried to act all high and mighty, right? Like I'd like to make a donation to the church for
Whoa.
$20,000, and then but the thing is, he kind of did it in a mockful way,
Yeah.
because he said, yeah, the church might need it for all the compensations getting paid for
Mm.
all of those poor children getting abused, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So the thing is, there's a younger priest, right, who is like, oh no, but that's what happened back then. Like that's what's bygone is bygone, right?
Yeah.
That's one thing about it. But thank you for your donation. And then the guy just kept flexing on his wealth, like, this is a very fancy pen or something, right? Yeah, and the priest, the younger priest is like, oh yeah, yeah, and then the main priest just doesn't give a shit about it. So like, make it 50. If money is no object, don't just donate 20. Make it 50,000 euro. Like, oh, then how about if I make it to 100? Hmm? What do you say about that, Mr. Priest? I'll say, you, Mr. Fitzgerald.
First thing he says is thank you. He says thank you. Second, he actually addressed Mr. Fitzgerald. And third, don't forget the way he like delivers it is like, oh yes, very, very thank you very much. I really appreciate it. It's like yeah, no, it's like it feels very passive aggressive as well.
Oh yeah. Like, what he does. Oh man, that's so good. Seriously, like how can you make comedy out of that? That's amazing, like there's no snarky humor or anything. It's just basically take advantage of this guy's ego, right?
They're able to take like all of these, actually like a lot of these stuff, right, that actually in the film, they're kind of quite mundane, if that makes sense. Like, okay,
Also,
it's like you've seen people fight in the pub, right? It's pretty normal. I mean, I seen that like also in person. And then you also sometimes like came across like into like a few weirdos who says like really weird things. Especially, well, maybe not getting a gun to kill themselves, but like just something like along those lines. But it's like for some reason like the writer, right? I think it's the same guy who actually directed the movie. But anyway, the writer, he basically captures all of these like little aspects of like our mundane life and then put it into this film. And then not only that, right, I think it's also the fact so a lot of these characters, I also realized that a lot of them are somewhat archetypes of a lot of these existing fictional characters that you've seen in other fictional medias.
yeah.
Yeah. So you have like you have the good priest, you have yeah.
Well, I mean, he's a good priest, that's for sure. But the thing is, the way he delivered things, right? Just that it's just like, I'm not going to put up with your shit.
Yeah, it's a good priest. You have the corrupted, like, I don't know, like rich brat. And then you also have that weirdo who says weird things. And you have this man child basically. And then you got surprisingly, I'm also quite surprised, like actually this film, right, the way they write women is actually pretty good. I won't lie.
Wait, how so?
As
There's only
in,
three people.
okay, yeah. I mean, it is 3 people, but it's like it's not to the point where it's insulting. If that makes sense, because it's like,
No,
oh
I've
yeah,
never actually thought about it that way, because I just think that the women here are just regular people themselves.
exactly. So like, yeah, that thing. Actually, this shouldn't even be a compliment because I hope more writers like treat like both genders just as equally, and like giving them like like equally good material. But yeah, anyway, I don't want to talk about Marvel spiel, but anyway, so yeah, so like especially like the women, right, like the priest's daughter.
Yeah.
Actually, did you realize that the priest cannot have a daughter, but he has a daughter, right? Just
No, but
really.
the thing is, that's what he already explained it. So he is married, and then they had daughter, right?
Yeah.
And then his wife died, and
Yeah.
he turned to priesthood afterward.
Yeah. But I'm saying that like traditionally that's usually not really the case, if that makes sense.
I
Yeah,
see.
it's not. I mean, definitely it's not normal. So, but the thing is that yeah, he actually loves his daughter very much, and the thing is the daughter here herself is actually a pretty decent person, and
He
there's
is.
also yeah
It's just the trouble, that's all.
yeah, there's also like other there's like this woman who cheats on her husband and then like just like cheats on this and this like very um
The the African guy.
I think he kind of emasculates with that kind of like the um it's kind of stereotypical masculinity where it's like oh yeah like he got all the ladies, but it's somehow a little bit more believable, if that makes sense, because like he's not like the kind where um it's like hey wait with my girl huh, and then you just like start to beat you up. It's like no, because like
No,
in
because he's
actually
doing it
yeah
by himself.
yeah actually like in the film right, actually the priest is the one who actually confronts to him and starts to like hey could you not abuse women. It's like oh what are you talking about bro. Yeah. It's like wow.
Wow.
Yeah, like the writing guy, like for like all these characters, even including the character that I do not like the most, even that guy I still give him like some sort of respect.
Wait, which
The
one? The
the
surgeon?
yeah the atheist doctor, and yeah, so like the thing is that they're able to write all these different like they're able to like subvert the tropes that I usually see, and somehow like it flows so well with the narrative. Like that's the thing. I'm also quite surprised. Like it doesn't really feel forced. Like episodes 8. Yeah.
But holy
So
crap! But it's just that, in a sense, right? All the plot lines between all of these people, right? It's just all jumbled up.
mm.
And the thing is, it's like a fever dream because things happen right between
Yeah,
scenes.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just like so many jump cuts. Like, wait, what the hell is happening? Right? For example,
I
he was
think
talking to this
mm,
old guy, right? This old writer,
mm.
and the next thing we know is that his dog got killed. Like, what?
Yeah. And the thing is that I don't feel like okay, it is awkward, but that's also like kind of the intent. Like you're supposed to feel like wait, what? you know? I think my only issue with this film so far is the beginning. Um not the first scene. It's just that like what comes afterwards is the way they cut it like between scenes is it's a bit awkward. But I think it's also the fact that I'm not really used to the pacing of the film yet, you know.
Yeah.
But I think yeah, I think that's about it. It is really one of a kind. Man, oh god, I cannot wait
And that's the
until
thing, right?
yeah.
This is not a Christian film. It's just a Christian
No,
theme film, but it's not.
correct. Yeah. Oh man,
Oh boy.
I actually would love to sit down with my some of my church friends who actually I'm very close to and who actually watch Rick and Morty. So I'm definitely very sure that they're completely okay with this kind of thing. I just like want to watch their reaction.
Ay, ay, ay. They better
Yeah.
laugh when it's actually when they actually deliver the all the dark humor joke. This is a story where there's this priest feels that something needed by the people, yet he can see that even though people claim they don't need him, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They it's very apparent that still need to attend to his flock somehow, right? And right, let's talk about the actual main plot of the film.
Yep. Sure.
Basically, yeah, at the start of the film, right? The film starts in a confessional booth, and then
Yep.
literally the first line in the film is that I got sexually assaulted when I was 7 years old by a priest. Like, holy crap! Suddenly the movie is so heavy. Okay, and then this, of course, the priest is being very sympathetic. Like, sorry, I cannot help you. Have you gone to the authority? Do you need professional help? Right? Which is
Yeah.
something that's a reasonable thing to say, rather
Yeah.
than like, oh, don't worry, God will help you or something. And
Mm.
then the guy just said that I will kill you, not because you've done anything wrong, because you're innocent. That's how to get people's attention
mm,
by
mm,
killing the priest, not the bad priest. And then that's the thing, right? The movie sets over the course of 1 week,
mm,
and the priest later confront the guy.
mm,
Actually, the thing is, the priest actually armed himself with a gun, but then he
mm.
realized that it actually wouldn't help this guy whatsoever. So he
Yeah,
discarded the gun.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then, even though he tried to save the would-be killer, right? And just by
Mm,
saying it's not too late, and he died regardless. But
mm,
the thing is, I think in the ending, it does show that there's a potential redemption for the guy,
mm,
because you can see the look of guilt on his face,
mm.
like what has he done and all. But yeah, like, but then throughout the whole film, right, you get to see how this priest starting to realize that um, it seems that he's a piece of an old relic from the past. With people say,
Oh,
yeah, with all people snickering like, what is religion? But
yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
they have their own problem, right, with their own, maybe I would say spirituality, or even like their own personal character, right? Let's say, I mean, in the end, right, um, ego, that egocentric rich guy, right?
Yeah.
Later, he did confess to the priest that he feel detached,
Mm,
like, and he
yeah.
feels like too. And then, but then he's actually willing to open up to the priest. So
Yeah, 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 yeah. You're right.
yeah,
You're right.
yeah, that's actually very interesting to see that, like, the priests actually do have impact on people, even though
So,
maybe
so,
his
so,
way of.
so out of everybody, the guy who actually has a redemption arc is the rich rat.
Ay, ay, ay. And you can see the people in the town, right? It's very so backward because they're quite racist. But still, though, it's just that you can see that there are some character moments that shows maybe not everyone is so how to put this. Not everyone is so spiritually confident in themselves, or whatever, right? I don't know the exact way to put it, but they
mm,
just feel insecure. For
mm.
example, remember the gay prostitute?
Oh yeah,
Bec-
oh yeah, that
yeah,
guy.
yeah, the guy you laugh like, why is he like a guy from a Tarantino film getting
No, no. Why does it talk like Tommy Vercetti from GTA Vice City?
right? For some reason, you can have an American Italian in Irish town.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, yeah, he talks very funny, right? And like so nonsensical. But then at the end, when the priest asks, like, "Are you okay? Seriously, do you need help?" And then he actually dropped the act. You can see that for a moment, like,
Yeah.
"Nah, nah, I'm fine."
Mm.
He actually dropped the funny accent,
Mm, mm, mm,
so
mm.
it kind of makes you think, right? Then there is something wrong, just that he's not willing to open up yet.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Even though everyone mocked the priest, that and then saying like, the church is bad, like yada yada yada. There is still a role for him to play.
Mm, mm,
And then I'm sure, even though a lot of the people in the town is very dismissive of him, I'm
mm.
sure he'll be missed.
Yes, yes. I think that is actually a very good point. Usually for Christians, we try to evangelize, like as in we basically try to like spread, the word of God. But the thing is that when you do it in practice, it's very slow and it's actually very difficult as well, because considering people have like their own beliefs and their own standards and morals, it's not easy for them to oh, okay, maybe you do have a point, like that kind of thing. It's very difficult. And the thing is that in this film as well, the priest himself almost never does this. Actually, I did also notice that too, which actually is very commendable, I would say.
Yeah,
Yeah, because the thing is
this
that
woman, right? Yeah,
hmm,
because the woman who cheat on her husband,
mm,
she actually kept taunting the priest like, "What are you going to do about it? I'm about to commit adultery
yeah, yeah, yeah,
with
yeah,
someone else. Are you going to stop me? I cannot stop you. Only you can stop yourself."
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. There are actually some Christian, as in like there's some like these little like subtext like going on like in the film, but honestly that's not really like the main point, like or what is trying to like deliver to the audience. And I really do think, even though yes we did tell you guys a lot about the film, but it's a very completely different experience when you actually see it. So yeah, would you recommend this film, Billy?
I'll definitely recommend this. And because of that, right, I'll put it as I love it.
Me too, me too, me too. I really love it. You know what's funny, right? We were thinking of doing like a kids film like the other day, Veggie Tales.
Yeah.
And then when I just saw it, I was like, oh wow, this is really obnoxious. Like I really want to stop this.
Oh, gee. The early 2000, man, what a magical time.
But yes, this film very good. I would recommend to some to a selected people. I'm actually really considering getting this on Blu-ray as well because
Yeah.
it is one of those films that you need to see to believe.
Unintended.
ties back to faith. Get it to see to believe. Where can people find us?
You can find us on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and that's about it for. And then you can find our podcast on Podbeans, Spotify, Amazon Podcast, Google Podcast, and Apple Podcast.
No, thank you very much for listening, and we'll see what we'll be watching next. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. See ya.